What's on, guys? I'm Trigger Gomez. Welcome to my channel if you're new to it. So today I'm going to talk about one of like the Nintendo Switch games that I played and completed. I don't really do too many like video game reviews, but this one I wanted to do because I'm a Star Wars fan and May 4th is pretty much getting closer. That's like the celebration for Star Wars. And yeah, so the game I want to talk about is Star Wars Jedi Academy. Now, for what I've heard, it's considered one of the best Star Wars games. But that's like everyone has a different opinion. And as for me, because like here's the thing when it comes to Star Wars Jedi Academy, so it's like an older game, came out like in like the early 2000s, I believe, and it was originally a PC game, and so it was ported to like console, to like Switch. And yeah, like it definitely shows when you play because the controls are way different compared when you use a keyboard. Now, if you've read the title, why did I say it's one of the worst games I ever played? Because, like I said, I guess to me personally, I feel like not every game should be ported, even though it's like a classic. Like I said, I guess example was like PC games dependent. Like I guess you could say, I guess technically like Doki Doki Literature Club is a PC game because you can play on a computer, but it's like it's a visual novel basically, so it's like not too much of a change. So one of my gripes when it comes to Jedi Academy is that okay. So this game maybe rage quit so much that it took me 2 years to replay it again, but that was only because of how bored I was. Yeah, like I stopped playing. The day I started playing again was like when the Coachella started. Yeah, yeah, it's just like the only time I rage quitted the game that much was like with Jump Force when I couldn't find the boss. But that my time period of like replaying that again was 3 months, and that's because the game was shut down. So I was like, and then we get it done over. And the third game that made me rage quit kind of, even though I already completed the story mode was Lego Star Wars complete Skywalker Saga. That one took me like at least a year, so that shows but like it's because now when I pretty much played like halfway through the game, like I halfway finished it. Yeah, basically the level I left off of was like after you get to have like change your lightsaber, like if you want to have like two lightsabers or like a double bladed lightsaber. Even though you play, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that was like the last that I left off on because like I said, I just got so annoyed with the Sith enemy. Like I really hate the Sith enemies. It's like straight up obnoxious as hell. And like in my opinion, finding the bosses in the game was more easy than finding the Sith enemies. Like when you fight like two or three at the same time, it's just a nightmare. Anyway. So yeah, I started playing again, and I was having fun. Where like the first. Okay, here's another thing. So I knew I would be frustrated again of like playing it because it's like one of those. It's like the only game that I had to keep out looking at walkthroughs to see like where to go. Because at least when I played Star Wars Bounty Hunter, like the game where you play that Jango Fett, it was only like half the time to find out where I'm supposed to go. But for Jedi Academy, like basically every single level, I'd still walk through like where am I supposed to go. Because like that's a huge difference between like older games and like newer games, where it's like everyone talks about hey yellow paint and that's where you're supposed to go, but Jedi Academy is like there's like no indication like where you're supposed to go. Like even when you have like a fellow NPC helping you like Kyle, like the Jedi Master for for the protagonist. Like, even when he's with you, who doesn't tell you, hey, let's go this way, or he goes to where you're supposed to go, like the next objective. He just stands there, does nothing, and just yeah, he just like does no help at all whatsoever. So yeah, like I said, I just tried to play like 8 hours just so I could get done over with this game because I knew I would get like frustrated. So like the first 4 hours, it was fine. It was okay. I don't exactly remember what. Like basically, it was towards the end. I think like almost like the second, maybe like the second to last level. Because like here's another reason why I decided to play it again because I found out like there was Boba Fett was one of the boss you fight. So I decided, okay, fine, go fight Boba Fett because I did enjoy fighting Boba Fett. That was awesome. He's just like here's my issue when it comes like the second to last boss. So okay, you're like a new Jedi, and with all the going through the story, it's like you get to use light side and dark side abilities. It's one of those games where there's a good or bad ending, but here's what I feel like it feels very contrived because like the other new Jedi that's the star with you, he betrays you, and he tried to kill you. That's basically like I said, like the midway point of the game. And then like basically in second to last boss, he said, oh, I because here's the real issue one because like really bugs me because he's like, oh sorry, I was scared, that type of thing. It's just like, I mean, you tried to murder me, so it's just like, and here's the funny thing because at the very first level, it's one of those games where I think so I get killed him twice. It's one of those games where I just get killed the NPC. It's game over automatically. So like, if I didn't actually kill them twice at the very beginning, I would have chosen the dark side ending, because that the Twi'lek was goading me to like kill. I was like nah, because like she's making me, she wants me to kill him. So like I want to be even though I already wanted to kill him, because since she's like goading me to do it, I was like no, never mind, just do like the good ending. But because here's the thing, like when you choose between the good and bad ending, so you choose the good ending, you fight the final Sith and boss, whatever. She's got two faces, but if you choose the bad ending, you kill her, then you fight Kai, your Jedi Master, whatever. And it's just really confusing because like, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, because I haven't seen footage where it's like, okay, after you join the dark side, you go to the Jedi, I guess the Sith temple or whatever, and you go help the fellow Jedi fight against the Sith. But it's just like evil, like it's kind of like you fight them, don't you fight both of them? Essentially, like evil. I guess they don't know. I just felt very contrived, the bad ending. It's like one type of thing where it's like it's just like okay, it's like one of those things where, like some games with like depending on your actual choices that actually do matter. If you end up being on having like a good or bad ending or getting true ending, that type of stuff. But yeah, like I said, it's just like an older game. Like I said, like it's just like I guess like sure, for like the older fans, I guess that's why they think it's the best game ever. But as for me, it was just like a nightmare, like switching between okay, trying to use a different force ability or trying to use different weapons when there's like 3 or 5 different like Sith enemies coming at me all at once. But it was just like basically, like for people who are speedrunners, it's just better. If you have the option, just straight up run to like to like the final like jet, and you just like run past them, whatever. Yeah, that's what I saw in one walkthrough where it's just like basically the last level where the guy just like just goes through like the temple and just passes like the majority of the Sith enemies just so you can go to the final level. But yeah, that's all. That's kind of like all I want to say. Cause like I said, it's just like yeah, I guess it's like it was fun to play and what you play on PC, but Switch is like it was not working for me whatsoever. Like I honestly enjoyed playing Star Wars Bounty Hunter a lot more. Like those two games, like kind of basically like came out around the same time. But like I said, it was like Jedi Academy was originally like a PC game, playing on the computer, and I honestly don't like it. That I don't even want to play like the sequel, get Jedi Outcast, the sequel or prequel where you play as Kyle. It's just like not worth it. And I don't want to go through that ever again. With basically the same thing. So yeah, that's like my thoughts on Jedi Academy. It's just like I just did not like it at all. Like what I said about Frank Order, the times that made me mad, I kind of take it all back because like after playing Jedi Academy, just really almost made me go through my breaking point. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I would like to do the complaints whenever. And yeah, until next time. Bye.